You guys have scaled smartly and you've really broken out into three impressive branches. As you look to 2026, where do you see the biggest growth opportunity for this company in the next 12 to 18 months?
The opportunity in all sides. I mean, everything. You look at the population of the city of Houston, and we have a little over 500 something subscribers. I mean, come on. I mean, there's opportunity all around the city. I mean, even we try to focus a lot within the 610 loop of the city, but I mean, there's a huge market to where we can use it in that. Like Nevin said, we could be up 300% in our trash shoot side. And we looked at our calendar, it is slam packed. And this is going to be the busiest we've been since we started, which is very, very rewarding, but it's not over, right? I mean, there's still tons of opportunity that you can do there.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Sound Waves, powered by Sound Cove Labs. I'm Rob Petrosh, the founder of Sound Cove Labs here in Greenwich, Connecticut. We have another great episode for you today. We are going down to Texas to talk with Space City Sanitizers. We've got Brandon and Nev on the line. Welcome, guys.
Hey,
Hey,
how's it
Rob.
going?
It's going well. Thanks so much for joining us today. Well, let's dive right in. Tell us how Space City Sanitizers got started.
Yeah, so we started in 2020 during the pandemic, which was pretty crazy. But we've grown the business into basically three branches. Started out with we'll go branch by branch. So our first branch that started the whole thing was kind of a unique business model. It's trash can cleaning and sanitizing. So we've got these big trucks. If you go to our website, you can check them out. But they're basically like big trash trucks. They got lifters on the back, and we have subscribers throughout the city that sign up for service. And what happens is these trucks come out to their resident. They grab their cans and pick them up on the back of the truck and clean them out with high pressure heat and water, high pressure water that's heated to 200 degrees. So it basically cleans the inside of the can, cleans the outside. We collect all the wastewater that comes off the cans, take all the nasty gunk and grit that's collected on these cans over the years, set them back down on the street, and they're brand new basically. So we have a couple thousand subscribers each month that have been with us since, grown over the years. A lot of them have been with us since the beginning. We don't have a really high churn rate. Once they sign up, they stick with us. But yeah, that's how we started the business, and it was really hot during COVID. People wanted their trash cans clean. They were scared of germs and bacteria and all that kind of stuff. So that's how we started. We have several trucks now. And off that, we grew branch number 2, which was biotrauma. That started about a year and a half later. And Brandon, you want to tell everybody about that branch?
Yeah, when I came in too, so biotrauma is more or less we do anything from crime scene cleanups to hoardings to any type of maybe some junk removal calls, but maybe more in that sector of things. So that was we saw like there was more of a niche market as far as no one was want to do it, and we kind of pride ourselves on doing things that no one else wants to do, and we found out that that was a market where we can really explode into and really be successful. And it was actually a branch where with sanitation, it just really flowed well into.
Yeah, and people kept asking us when we had this trash can business, because it had to do with sanitizing and stuff like that, and keeping things clean. Have you ever thought of biotrauma and going into crime scene cleaning? And I thought it was crazy at the time, but the more I looked into it, like Brandon said, it's not a lot of people doing it. So that took off. We've grown that branch of the business since probably 2022. And our recent branch, our third branch, is trash chutes and linen chutes. So it's the refuse chutes that exist in skyscrapers and high rises and hotels, where people get rid of their trash. If you live on the top floor, you don't want to walk it all the way down. You throw it in a tube, goes all the way down to the bottom, lands in a dumpster. So we started sanitizing those. So we have specialized equipment that goes up and down the entire chute, cleans it out with high pressure water, 200-degree heat, just like our trash cans. Cleans the doors, so the tenants in the building don't have to deal with the gunk on the doors and the buildup. Everything smells great after we're done, and we clean that bottom area too. So compactors, dumpsters, all of that. So we not only do we clean, we repair, we service everything that has to do with the chute, and we also do new construction projects. So if there's a building being built from the ground up, we can put in a new chute system, no matter how complicated. So that part of the business is growing the fastest. It's doubled in revenue year over year since we started in late, and we're just we can't keep up with it. That's been our biggest, not only asset, but also our biggest stressor because we I'm not going to say no to a job, and we just keep outrunning our cash flow, but it's been fun. It's been fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I mean, I love that you do the things that nobody else wants to do, and there's absolutely money in that, which is
Mhm.
a great approach to things. I guess though, with your range being so broad, how do you maintain focus and brand clarity with so much going on?
Yeah, and that's been a challenge. Everything exists under the Space City Sanitizers umbrella, but our different divisions they have different names. So we have Biotrauma Solutions, which is our biotrauma brand, and then we have the Chute Company, which is our Chute brand. And then we've kind of tried to format SEO. Let's use the Chute Company as an example to exist under the Chute brand outside of the Chute Company outside of Texas. So in Texas, if you're Googling or in Houston, if you're Googling for trash chute cleaning services or services, Space City Sanitizers is going to show up and the Chute Company. But if you're in Mississippi, the Chute Company is going to show up. But it all flows into Space City. But that's how we've maintained brand clarity. It's a good looking brand, the Chute Company outside of Texas, because not everybody knows what Space City is unless you're
Mhm.
familiar with NASA and all that kind of stuff. But both have been great because we've been able to kind of personalize each brand uniquely and give it its own voice and style. And, Brandon, you wanna add anything?
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit it. I mean, that's pretty much it. I know when I first came in, that was one of the big things is how do we separate that? How do we identify certain branches of that with biotrauma? Do we all make it all look the same, like Space City, like some of this logo with the shoe company? And Nevin hit it. It was more about just like how can we advertise for our SEO and get that out there, and then how is it going to be specific to each market in each region? But yeah, I mean, it's just something we deal with. It's definitely something that we're still working on, but we've pretty much came around to where we have a specific side of brand and what we're trying to do to in
Yeah.
each market. So
Mhm.
And I also thought
Well,
about what can we franchise? So,
Mhm.
the sheet company,
Right.
that's franchisable, and so I've been researching how to do that. I'd be glad to talk to somebody who's done it before, but it's a brand under our umbrella that we do service the entire country, but, that we could really franchise that brand. It's built that way.
mhm. Well, yeah, no, I agree. Based on what you just said there, I think it can appeal to many different parts of the country. You guys have talked about SEO. I guess it's a good time to turn to marketing. How do you find your best clients today? Obviously, it seems through search is one way, referrals. Talk to me about online and offline methods that are driving customers and your
Yeah.
approach.
Yeah, I can talk online, and then Brandon can dive into offline.
Mhm.
Online, man. So trash can cleaning, it's a service still people don't know about it. So you gotta inform them and educate them. And I found the best way to do that is on like Meta. So paid Meta ads, Facebook, Instagram, X, all that other stuff. Paid ads on those platforms. Google Ads for biotrauma, because when somebody needs that service, they've never needed it before. They're going to go to Google and they're going to search for it, and you better show up top 5 or top 3, or you're not getting a call. That's been a challenge managing and manipulating Google Ads, trying to figure out what the magic sauce is for that to make that work. There's a lot of misinformation on the internet about paid ads, and there's also a lot of good information. So, we've really been trying to nail that down. Been working with a marketing company for almost a year and a half now. It's been up and down with them, but for the most part, they do a good job. And then they manage our SEO too. So that's been another challenge when you have different brands. How to manage SEO to make all of them work in unison. So yeah.
What about business? So you obviously have a residential, appeal to customers and a B2C part of the business, which is major. What about B2B and facility
Yeah.
managers and people like that?
Yeah. There's platforms that builders use like Construct Connect, Procore, Building Connected that you have to be on. So
Mhm.
having a presence on those platforms as the shoot company, as Space City Sanitizers. So when builders and developers are searching for subcontractors for their projects, we show up. And SEO is really just naturally good for the shoot company because we have so few competitors. So it was very easy to get that to the forefront of Google and other search engines pretty quickly, just because of the lack of competition. An eye on it, and we're always trying to improve that. It's very difficult to do well with SEO. But yeah, but B2B, it's knowing what platforms your clients use. If it's a specialized service, especially like building or construction, they use different platforms to find people, and you have to be vetted. You have to have right insurance. You have to be credentialed. You have to be on the platform. Getting on those platforms is, there's some hurdles to overcome with that. Companies for like apartment complexes, residential buildings, they use different platforms. So they use vendor credentialing services. There's a bunch of them, but I have a great admin that makes sure we're on all of them, and all of our stuff is up to date. Our insurance is uploaded on there. We have a great insurance company we work with, so if we need a COI, we get those turned around very quickly, and it looks good to our potential clients. Yeah, and
What
it's a
about
lot.
LinkedIn? Have you tried direct outreach to LinkedIn to
Yeah,
managers?
I mean, I don't know. It's more like I get solicited on LinkedIn more than anything for marketing services, lead services, things like that. But that is a good point. I am connected with a lot of property managers and things of that nature, but I don't see too many builders directly working on LinkedIn. It's mostly like their marketing teams on there. They're posting things about, their latest project. It's these building platforms that have worked a little bit better for us. I don't think I've gotten too many leads from LinkedIn, but I am open to doing things differently if somebody has a great idea about LinkedIn.
Yeah, no, we some of our clients have had a lot of success there. But again, it's all about the execution. LinkedIn is itself pretty good, but it's how you execute. So, yeah, I think that's something for you guys to consider. Listen, I think you guys overall are really dialed into your marketing compared to a lot of founders we talk to who are experimenting. Where I feel like you have some really good results and you know what you're doing there. What marketing experiment or investment are you looking at in the next 6 to 12 months? Something you may have not done or thinking about?
Brandon, do you want to talk about our offline sales team that we're developing right now? That fit
Yeah, for
well.
sure. Yeah, I can get that. So, a lot of things like as far as bio trauma is going to be a little harder when we're coming to like let's say boots on the ground, trying to get the marketing out there. But for sure, like with a lot of our like trash can sales, we have a lot of people that are just literally in the field. Whenever we're cleaning and performing jobs, they're actually out there, interacting with the people and with the clients and everything, and then handing out brochures. So a lot we find that that's actually very critical. And then the same thing with a lot of our shoot sales. We have people that's literally cold calling, going in, handing out flowers, developing videos and a lot of things of how our product works to show with on the spot. I'm talking about like maybe building out like a tablet or some type of presentation or something like that to show some of the marketing that we're going in there too. But we really launched a hard sales campaign recently with having different layers of that sales team where you have someone who can go in and actually do the assessment to figure out what's going on this property, what do we need here, what are some of the assets of that, and then having the follow up and then the more of the closing deal on the back end too. We've leveraged AI tremendously a lot with building out a lot of these platforms. Devin can speak to that in more depth, but it's been a tremendous platform to where we can actually be more tangible with it and just work smarter to where we're not doing as much as that we need to. But if you want to speak to that, Devin, a little bit about the
Yeah.
AI background.
Yeah, we use Grok heavily, and we use Grok to build platforms for us. And he's built some API backends for Jobber, so we use Jobber for our client management system. And then most recently, we've developed several apps that are personalized for our business. So, for example, our sales girls, they'll go into a property. They have an app on their phone that's specific to our company that they can build out a quote based on the parameters and what they see, the fire code violations, things that need to be repaired. They put it into that app, and then
Mhm.
they can generate a quote instantly based on data from previous jobs, the market analysis, other competitors, what are they doing? All that running in the background, fueled by AI. So since we've implemented that recently, had a close rate probably 80%. I think our cleanings at commercial properties for trash chutes tripled in like the last
Mhm.
month or two. Uh, 2026, the first part of that is packed. Like I'm gonna need another vehicle, but
So what did AI change though? Just to be clear, what did it change from the old manual way?
Yeah, market research. Yeah, I think it's been the ease of use with our team and for our clients too. I think it's just that like you said, the real in time quote that we can get to them, they love it. To where even our team does too. Just the simplicity of being able to build that out with just fewer errors And then with the client seeing it right there in person, as opposed to, well, hey, I'll get back to you later today or tomorrow. I think it's been a very good response time.
Yeah, I think a lot of owners can learn from your adoption there. I think that's awesome. Staying on systems and automation, what systems are you currently using for scheduling, dispatch, billing, client communication? How's that going? Are there any bottlenecks there?
hmm
And what metric do you watch regularly? Job count, job value, lead conversion? I'm sure you watch all, but where when you wake up in the morning and I don't know if you have a one dashboard, but where do your eyes go?
Yeah, yeah. I was going to say the same thing as far as our really around our like our trash chute side. We saw there was an opportunity because we were getting a lot of one-time services before in the past, and that's what we've really been targeting on is just trying to like how do we get more reoccurring business? How do we get them signed up? You know, keep them loyal, keep them responsible to what we're doing. Because I think that's really big is that we can build relationships with these to where they can have these reoccurring business, especially even on the trash can side and our trash chute side. So that's yeah, recurring business is really big, what I look at when we come in.
Yeah, that's always the dream, right? The
Mhm,
recurring, the investors like it too. So you guys have scaled smartly and you've really broken out into three impressive branches. But I will ask, I mean, as you look to 2026, where do you see the biggest growth opportunity for this company in the next 12 to 18 months?
See opportunity in all sides. I mean, everything. I mean, we look at, the population of the city of Houston, and we have a little over 500 something subscribers. I mean, come on. I mean, there's opportunity all around the city, right? I mean, even we try to focus a lot within, their 610 loop of the city, but I mean, there's a huge market to where we can use it in that. And like Nevis said, we could be up 300% in our trash shoot side. And we looked at our calendar in 26 it is slam packed, and this is going to be the busiest we've been since we started, which is very rewarding. But it's not over, right? Like, I mean, there's still tons of opportunity that you can do there. I mean, never hit them, but I think with biotrauma, to me, is probably my number one concern as far as opportunity of where I want to go with this, as far as seeing what we can do in the next 18 months, and just taking a slow approach, but there it's very competitive market, especially in the Houston market. And so really just doing some planning at the end of the year to where can we really find a way to really capitalize on that in the next 18 months.
Yeah, that's great. I think that's a great focus. Listen, if you could leave us with we have a lot of founders, some who are just getting going, some who've been established. What advice do you have for founders looking to scale their company in a smart way? What are some non-negotiables, if you will?
hmm
You
hmm
do, yeah. It could be
Um,
pretty lonely.
I'd say be ready to work your ass off.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, there's no substitution for that. I think a lot of people will get into it. A lot of small business owners get in there. They get work to the corporate setting. They work some outside, and they maybe have an adjusted schedule, but there is no schedule. And this is working all the time, and there is no substitution for that. But smarter, not harder. But you got to work hard too. And I think what we're saying is leveraging a lot of the new tools that we have as far as AI and getting the right people is big too. It's taking the time. I think I do a lot with the operations side of the business, and I really invest a lot of time into my people because that's all you have. I mean, if you're going to do it, you got to make sure that you're hiring the right people, or you have nothing. You can't do everything yourself. I mean, I know that's cliche, but it's true. If you're running around doing everything yourself, you're wasting time. You're spinning the wheels. But I say your people and just being ready to work your ass off whenever it comes.
Brandon, amazing advice and congrats on all your success. Please tell our viewers, especially those in the Texas area, where they can find you all. And the
Yep,
best website
downtown.
with all three Space Cities, the best website to find you.
Space City Sanitizers.
All right. Cool, man. Hey, guys, thank you so much. We appreciate you joining the show today. We appreciate our viewers giving us the time, and we will see you all in the next episode. Thanks,
All right.
guys.
Thanks, Rob.
You got it.
Take care.
Bye.